Good morning, everyone. It is Nate G. It is Friday, January 26th, and we have had a awesome week here in the DPL room. Lots of great trades, lots of winners. Just a couple small trades that didn't play out, but no harm, no foul. The larger trade this week was KKR for me at least. This was on a daily chart. This thing has come up and hit its target number one right here today. And as it continues to move up into earnings, we have a target number two up here. But that thing was a slow mover, but it did its job. It's a pretty nice standard TPS setup. TJX, we talked about yesterday in chat. We set up a trade. Actually took a trade in TJX, and it's now pushing up through target number one, 95.92, up towards hopefully 96.41 into next week, or maybe even a little bit later today. This I set up the trade. We talked about it. I actually put it on in the room, and as it was creeping up, I think it was creeping up right here before we got another opportunity for an entry. I realized that while I was on the mic, I fat fingered the trade and I bought puts, which is not what you want to do when you're in a TPS setup that looks like it's a long. so I did immediately what any sane individual would do, and I cut that trade. It was only I caught it pretty quick, so it was only like a $50 loss. And then I was doing something else when then we got this little dip down here. So we talked about it. We set up the trade plan. We even put our profit and loss box on here, and I messed it up on my end. But I assume, and I saw in chat, a bunch of you did take it and took it correctly and are in profit this morning and have been taking profits, right? So congrats on that. That was my screw up there. um, let's see, what else have we been playing? We were playing CBOE earlier this week on a 30-minute chart. That one played out, pushed up to both target one and two, and then has pulled back a little bit here today, but we took profits into that. We were in Walmart earlier this week. I stopped out on this breakdown because I was playing this 30-minute chart here, and it hit my stop level into the close. What was that? 2 days ago. But now it's fully recovered and hit target number one. I stopped out, but I know I was listening to a couple of you here in chat, and you held on to that one and made some nice profits there. A couple of you kind of also traded these moves here after we set up the trade, and then this move here. So congrats on that. That's also a TPS setup. And then today, is that all of them? Oh, we played Spot earlier this week too. And Spot's doing quite well. We were playing Spotify down in here, and it popped for some profits, and then we're currently playing it right here for a breakout. It just hasn't really given us the breakout we're hoping for. I have some short dated options on this that I was hoping would pop in today, and it just didn't. But this pattern just looks ridiculous. I love this pattern. I'll be trying to set up another trade today for next week. And then finally, the big dogger on the day was CRM. We talked about this yesterday, trying to find a way to get in it. and the opportunity presented itself this morning to get in that. We got a little bit of a gap up and pulled back to this point of control level there, and then we got to move up into support, and then we actually got a second opportunity for an entry right back there at the point of control. And then this thing moved up quite a bit, within, 45 minutes probably. And, target number 1 is here. Target number 2 is here for the longer term trade. But we got this move in about 45 minutes. And on a Friday, it was just too good not to take it off for a little over 50%. And so what I'm looking for on this trade, lock some of those profits in. I'm looking for a pullback in the next day or two, maybe on Monday, back into this point of control level, or a more minor pullback into this value area high, which was support, right? Which was resistance. Sorry, which is now going to be potential support for a move that kind of looks like this. So we're either going to come here and retest that point of control, I think, and move up, or test this previous resistance level as support and go. So I will be watching both of those into this afternoon and Monday. And that's pretty much all we did this week. A lot of great trades. At least that's what I did. And what we've got are just crazy 30-minute charts. I mean, if you look at Meta on the 30-minute chart here, we were talking about this morning as it kind of dipped, and now it's pushing up. What else did I have on my list? I had a pretty long list of names that were setting up on 30-minute charts. Meta, Spot. Let's see if I can find any more here. TSM. That's a beautiful chart on the 30-minute. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm looking at my other monitor, on Thinkorswim. There's just a lot of great setups. Whoa, ANF. Check out ANF on the 78-minute. That thing's kind of a beauty. What happened to my VRVP? There we go. Here's our point of control. We got to get up and over. Probably looks a little bit better on a 65. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we've got a squeeze. We've got rounding momentum here. We've got our, pattern here. And if you're wondering if this is in a trend, check out this daily. Not sure if that's in a trend or not. What do you guys think? So I like ANF here. It's kind of a combination of 30-minute, 1 hour, 78-minute charts. If I'm setting this up right now, I'm coming in here, I'm marking this value area low. We have our point of control on there. We're right into it right now. We got a little bit above it, and then we pulled back into it. ANF is not going to be terribly market sensitive in the, like if the Qs turn, ANF isn't just going to roll over. So it's somewhat safe. So then you could put in the high there, and then we could measure out our fib, and we've got our 1272 there. So then we'll go, where's my green? We'll go green and green for target 1 and 2. And then we can look at our risk reward box, right, to target number 1. If we put on a trade here, about 3.5 to 1, right? To target number 2 would be almost 5 to 1. And being a 30-minute chart, let's look at when earnings is, not till March. Yeah, 30-minute chart, I would be going out at the very least to the February 2nd, maybe even to the February 9th, just to buy some extra time. And I'd be looking at the 102s because we're really only looking at, a $4 move. So I want to make sure that we're slightly in the money so that we're getting a larger chunk of that move. So if we're going to target 2 there, it's a 5 to 1 risk reward if we pick it up off of that point of control level. Here we had a breakdown, but then immediately a reclaim of that pattern. So that's bullish. I like to see that. And I also like to see this change in momentum happening here on the hourly. So I would actually be playing this on an hourly chart. So my stop would be on a break of that level at 102.58. And it would have to be on a closing basis of a 1-hour chart. So this little breakdown here would not have constituted a stop out. But this breakdown and reclaim is really bullish. And if we look at like a 1-minute chart, we see this red line here is our point of control, right? And what we see happening is we move down below it, right? We came up and tested it. We moved down and broke out of the pattern and then quickly reclaimed the pattern. And what you'll see as we move up into that point of control, we retest that support level, and now we're moving up, right? So when we reclaim the pattern, we want to see it come up. This would have been a great buy if we were watching it earlier, because it comes up, it retests that over underline, that point of control, or it tests it, it rejects, and then it retests what was the previous support level as it broke down and back up through, and now it's moving up. So at the moment, I'm being cautious as it's Friday. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen on Friday necessarily. So I'm kind of setting this up for next week if we're given an entry. As we start to get into the afternoon on Friday, I don't know that many things are gonna take off. But ANF is on my watch for. I'd love to pick it up off of 101.68, frankly. And then we'd really get a great risk reward, 20 to 1 kind of risk reward. So ANF looks nice. I'm just kind of poking around here. Oh, the other trade we did just a minute ago. Well, not a minute ago, but was we took a sniper trade off of this rollover on the SPX. right here. Took about 15-16% out of that one, so that was nice. Just a little quick hit. But those are the sniper trades. That's obviously a different setup than the TPS setup. But that was a nice little hit on the SPX. And really, you don't have to make large percentage profit on the SPX to make good money. Yeah, Nolan Ryan, you're right. There's always something to factor into your trading that day. That could you know displace the market. Yep, that's exactly right. FOMC, OPEX, Friday, Fed talks. Yep. What do I think of Sox SOXL? I was going to try and say it, but I'm not going to do that. Let's see here. SOXL. I typically don't trade these kinds of names. These 3 times share ETFs. I prefer to play the actual semis, NVIDIA, AMD, stuff like that. So I can't really comment on it. I don't see a trade setup that I like other than maybe a potential bounce off that level there. So I can't really comment too much on that. It doesn't fit my setups. Do you list your trade entries on CRM in here? Yeah, I do. I just type it in chat. Papa James. You can see it. I mean, this morning. It was probably 10 to 15 minutes into market open. I put it in here that I was taking a shot. But I don't do a trade alert like Nate Bear. He's the only one that does a official trade alert like that. Nat Geo, yeah, there's a number of ways you can hedge your longs. Some people will buy calls in the VIX. I do that. You can buy some puts in your shorter term puts in like one of the QQQs or the SPY. I don't do a lot of those 3x bear ETFs, but I know people do that. So um, yeah, I mean that's always it's always important if you're heavily long to make sure you're at least protected in some way, especially when we kind of get up into this three ATR, 3+ ATR range on the indices. Well, that would have been a good buy off of VWAP here on SPY. I like that. What does Apple look like? Apple hit new highs yet? Not quite. Not quite. Yeah, they can move quickly when the market turns. That's for sure. Um, on my chart in toss, how do I don't do that in toss. You can do that in toss. I'm trying to remember. Well, ANF is going to move for us. Should have got in it. It's moving up. All right, it's got to break that trend line there. But it looks like it wants to do something. It's probably going to go without me. I'm really not in the mood to screw up my week. Not that one trade would screw up my week, but I'm kind of in the shut it down and take the rest of the day off sort of mode. Nice, Vanessa. Mara on the 5 minute. Day trade it. I don't like Mara on the 5 minute. Am I looking at this correctly? Yeah, I mean it looks awesome if you were in it. If I say you, I'm meaning if one, not you specifically, was in it, down here. Right? And this is the 1 minute chart. I mean, we are moving. So the 5 minute chart, there's definitely not a setup in it. If you're already in it, congratulations. It looks great. If you're looking to get in it, I mean, it is breaking up over this. Let's see here. Let's look at a 30 minute. I mean, we are pushing up above this value area here. I could potentially see a retest of that level now that we're pushing up through it. Unless that's the retest. No, I don't think it is. What I mean by a retest is a move like we come up, we come back, we retest it, and then go. That's what I would mean by a retest. But it's definitely not a setup here that fits my eye. Yeah, what's the short interest on Mara? Is it? Let's see. Does anybody know it off the top of their head? I'll look it up on FinViz. Yeah, 22%. Yeah, this could turn into a short squeeze. How do you equate the percentage? Well, the short float is 22%. That's shares that are in the float, which is the available shares to trade that are being held short. Right? So which can create a short squeeze, which means if we're breaking up above a key resistance level where shorts are now getting in trouble, right? If they're trying to short this, maybe, they were maybe shorting it here. They've maybe been shorting it here and here. And now we've moved up above that level. They're waiting to stop out, but maybe their risk was, this. Depending on where they got in, right? Since that green line is a key resistance level now, where it is, as it starts to break up, shorts have to stop out of their position, or should stop out of their position. And so when you close a short position, you buy it back, right? You have to cover it. They're covering it, and to cover it, you buy it. And so as the name moves up, shorts cover by buying, which creates more buying, which creates more shorts covering, which creates more buying. And then there's also people stepping in to buy it long, and that's what's called a short squeeze. And then you can get those parabolic moves. I'm not saying that Mars is going to do that. I'm just saying that's what a short squeeze is. Shots plus shorts, yeah. Well, and then people that are short, that are getting squeezed, they need shots. So then they cover their shorts and go to the bar and take shots. Grant, are you an evil short seller? That's awesome. Are you pretty successful with that? I tried to be an evil short seller early in my career, but I didn't know enough about the market, and I didn't know enough about chart reading and volume profile and all those things. And it's a really quick way to blow up your account. Does anybody have any names they want to take a look at here? We found ANF. See if we can find something else. How do you determine the 21 EMA? You just put it on your chart. So, are you in TradingView avatar? Hill, I can't tell you what to do. That's got to be your call on holding UPS over the weekend. You're using Thinkorswim. Yeah, you just put in a exponential moving average and set the length to 21, and it should show up on your chart. You want WMT on the 5-minute. Is that right? Did I see that? What do you think I'm going to say about it right here? Trader Tim, yeah, I'm still holding spot. But my short dateds need to do something or I got to cut them. But I have a credit spread from earlier in the week that it's just going to expire at 100% profit. Yeah, it's extended. It looked great right in here. This would be where if I had taken this 5-minute, I would be taking my profits off. Right? So, I mean, this is a 5-minute TPS pattern, right? And you want to buy it down here off of VWAP area or these moving averages. As you can tell, I haven't quite had my coffee yet today. I'm doing that now. Yeah, John, Nate uses the 21 EMA. And you can see on this chart, this darker white line is the 21 EMA for me. That's like kind of the primary line. And when we're doing ATRs, 1 ATR, 2 ATR, 3 ATR, bands, it's always based off the 21 EMA. D-Dog? Let's check it out. D-Dog on the 30-minute. Whoa. Looks like it's coming in to bounce or potentially bounce off of some VP levels here. Let me get rid of all my drawings. You know, that VP level seems like a pretty key level for a bounce. I mean, it's in a 30-minute squeeze, but it's not consolidating around any kind of area that I would want to take a squeeze play. Plus, I mean, let's even say we back it up to where it was consolidating. It wasn't in a squeeze there, but you know, if I'm looking at this and I'm looking to play a squeeze, let's even look at a 15-minute here. If I'm looking to play this squeeze here, I would tend to look at this as a potential short play because of the trend. But if you're looking at it as a bounce play, I can get behind that. Because you're coming into this sort of major volume profile level on this pullback, and you're starting to bounce up. Although know that you're kind of starting to get extended from what would be your stop levels, in my opinion. Well, that's good to know. Mish H, did I say that right? Is that Mish? Using the 4 EMA indicator on TradingView only counts as one, and then you can change them to what you want. 8, 21, 34, and 55. That's exactly what you should be using. Exactly. And then I'm sure you can change the colors and whatnot. Gut feel, JG. I would expect that we kind of go sideways, if not pull back slightly. This is just my opinion. It is not fact checked by any doctors or anything else. I think being Friday, you know, we kind of came up here. We made a new high. And I feel like we're just going to either drift sideways or kind of come back into the mean a little bit into the close. That's my gut feeling. I think we made our move right there, and we pierced a new high on a Friday, which is usually can be more of a kind of choppy, quiet day. That's what I think is going to happen. Who knows? We might get news on something and rip. UAHL. UHAL, sorry. U-Haul, huh? Woodpecker. What's the woodpecker on the daily? What is it on? Yeah. What do we got? February 7th. This is a little bit too sharp of a rollover for me. Usually like it to kind of tend to like to have it look like let's see here. Like that. That's not to say that it's not going to that it's not going to consolidate here and continue moving up. Be aware February 7th is earnings, so you don't have a long time for that to move. But what's that? 7 days or so of trading. Amazon's climbing. God, I keep looking at this. I have this up on my other chart, right? This ANF that we've just marked up as a possible, 30-minute squeeze play. And what I have on my other chart, here, let me do this. In this corner is this weekly chart. And it just keeps smacking me in the face. That's, you know? If that's not in a trend, I'm really not sure what is. But at this point on ANF, I'm waiting for a better entry. It just kind of started moving. I should have grabbed it when we were talking about it. CRM came down into VWAP. I'd like to reload a little bit lower. TJX looks like it wants its target number 2 for those of you who are still in that. Spot's not going to do what we want it to do today. It's sad. I just want it to explode. Mark, you still have a mall? Nina, what'd you call me on the 30-minute? Let's see. FWONK. What is that? Liberty Me Series C Formula One. Fwonk. Never heard of it. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they do. I don't even know. Hold on a minute. FWONK. Let's look at the options are awful. And by awful, I mean horrific. They might be fast with their cars, but their options are just dirt. So I could see maybe wanting to play this as a stock, but if you look at these spreads here, right? If you look at the 70s, your bid's at 50 cents, your ask's at 5.30. You just go ahead. This is a joke. You mark it into that, you'll get an awful fill. And then the slightly out of the monies are 0. Right? Those are crazy. $4.50 to $9. No, thank you. Yeah, Nate, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying just mark it into them. I'm sure you'll get a great fill with no slippage. All sarcastic, by the way. Nate, have you seen? I don't know how long ago you came back. Did you see this ANF chart on the 65 minute? It's pretty great. We got some rounding momentum down here. It's the daily is in a really strong trend. The weekly is crazy high. it's not going to be too market sensitive. So we marked it up for a five, almost 5 to 1 risk reward play. Thoughts on the D Dog Daily? I'm gonna get Fwonk off my chart here. I think I just talked about D Dog. Yeah, I think it's coming into this 55. I just talked about it a minute ago on the 30 minute. As a potential, bounce play with a decent. If you're taking it off this green level. Where it's at now, I don't. I think it's already started to be a little extended. But I could get behind it as a bounce play, maybe a little bit lower than this into earnings on the 13th. Get that flonk out of here, right, Steve? Or get the flonk out of here. That's pretty funny. Uh, Nina, are you in May 17 calls on flonk? I mean, if you hit this and May, I'm looking at the May 17s. What strike did you get? What strike? May 17th. Oh, that's funny. I said I didn't like the U-Haul chart. Yeah, that's what makes a market, right? All right, Nina. You got the 75s. Yeah, that's a $10 spread. Was this a call out from another service, or did you find this on your own? See that I mean, I'll give you a virtual high five and 25 DPL bucks if you do hit this and it works. Um, I think that's, I mean that spread there. See, here's the spread. I mean, it's a 5 cent spread. The and the volume is pretty good here. That's why I was asking if you maybe got that from a service, because it looks like a lot of people piled into that strike at the May 24s, right? I hope that here's from experience that I've found, and maybe Mr. Bear can back this up if he agrees, or just make me look stupid if he doesn't agree. But my history has shown me that sometimes you can find a tight spread on a strike and get into it, and then by the time you're ready to exit, that 75 strike is showing is showing 380 and 750, and 750 you're in profit, but you can't get out unless hit the bid, um, and then it just actually evaporates any. I hope that doesn't happen to you. I'm just saying that's when I look at the other option chain spreads here, uh, it makes me feel like I'm hoping that you'll be able to get out of that with the profit that you want. That's just a from past experience. Maybe it's past trauma. Maybe I'm referencing past trauma. So please do. Uh, yeah. Well, I'm batting average is pretty good this week, Nate. So I feel like your odds are in your favor. I mean, I feel like every trade I've thrown in here has been a winner. Not for me, of course, because I fat fingered TJX and stopped out on Walmart before it, right before it ripped. So, but I only put in winners. Really, that's the way it goes down. It reminded me of the Charlie Sheen situation like 10 years ago. Winning. Hashtag winning. Oh, that's got to sting a bit there. Sold them at $1.17 and now they're 12. Ouch. Hey, you took them off for profit though, didn't you? Heck yeah. Profit's profit. I mean, I took my CRM off early because it just seemed like 55% in a 45-minute time frame was good enough for a Friday for me. It might not even give me another option to get in. I'd like to. I'd like to get back in. But it might just go. Of course, I'm going to hear from Donnie, from D-Man. D-Man, I don't know if you're in here, but it's going to be 2 weeks from now, right? And CRM's going to be up here, right? It's gonna break 300, and D-Man's gonna go, oh, taking off my first chunk of CRM at this 300 mark. Nate G, how'd you do on CRM? for 700%. And I'm gonna go, oh, I took mine off for 50. That's that's what's gonna happen. I guarantee it. And because he's probably not in here right now. And because we're both in this and we didn't know each other was in it, and I'm claiming that it was my trade and he's claiming it was his trade. God, he's gonna rub that in my face so hard. It's gonna be painful. It'll be a rash. I'll have a rash from being rubbed in my face so hard. Anyway, I'm not bitter. Do I sound bitter? I'm not bitter. Um, but we'll see. At any rate, yeah, ANF looks great. I'm gonna take a quick peek on a couple of these other ones on the other on my Thinkorswim, and then what do you think of? I mean, you gotta have a big account, but BlackRock BLK on the daily is kind of interesting, Nate. God, the spot chart is just. I don't know why it doesn't want to cooperate. It's just so pretty. Why? Why won't you be my friend? I mean, TSM looks nice. Oh, God. I don't love the daily, but check this out. Zion on the 30-minute. That's kind of pretty. Let's see. CBOE looking good. Dash is moving. There's just so many good looking charts right now. Anyway, I'm not putting anything else on. I am standing here beside myself, Steve. Yep. They make a cream. Is that cream FUOP, Nina? Or whatever that whatever that ticker was? Is that the name of the cream? Flunk? All right, I'm getting a little slap happy. I should probably exit. It's Friday. It's been a long but good week. God, TGX wants it. That was a good call out, Nate. Bear. I'm not trading IBM, so I don't have an update, but Nate Bear does. Thanks, Sandra. Sometimes it can get a little kooky in here, and by in here I mean my brain. NPC's pulling back. That's one that I have not been trading, but you all have been in quite a bit. What are you playing on NPC? Are you playing the 195? No. What's the NPC trade? I see the pullback. Kind of down into that value area low. Or were you playing this 30-minute a little tighter? Right here. Oh, maybe more like a 15-minute. AXP, you made 116%? Oh, AXP. I thought we were still talking about ANF. I was like, what? Yeah, pulling down into this. Man, that's a pretty sharp pullback after piercing that high. This daily is just so choppy. Earnings next week. Could be a symmetry drop on MPC. Let's check it out. I like where your head's at. Let's see here. Looks like it might be a little further than this one. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little further than most of these pullbacks. Oh, look at that. That's got symmetry right there. Yeah, it's a symmetry drop. Let's measure this one here. This one might be close too. No, that one's not going to be close. Nope. It hits one of the three. All right, I'm gonna exit, take my leave. Um, I say I'll shut it down and go do something else because it's a Friday, but I will probably just be sitting here in the room trying to find new trades. That's probably what will happen. But if you don't see me in the room anymore, it means I shut it down for the day. But I hope you all have a fantastic weekend and spend time with family, exercise, relax, all those things that recharge our batteries for next week. I'm expecting another great week. So I will talk to you all later.